Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Honk. No news from the Titans yet about tomorrow night, but going into it, Detroit's going to be hosting, and Detroit's made some news over the past few hours as they have made two big signings, as they have given Amon-Ra St. Brown a brand new deal, 4 years, $120 million. $77 million of that is guaranteed. That makes him the highest paid wide receiver in a single contract in NFL history. Offensive tackle Penei Sewell also got himself a new deal from the Lions earlier today. 4 years, $112 million. But not everybody's getting contract extensions. Justin Fields is most likely not going to get his fifth-year option from the Steelers, but that's probably going to happen when you're the backup. And so he, as well as Russell Wilson, are expected to be free agents coming up in 2025. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, so it's home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone, NFL Draft Eve, y'all. We're here for it. Beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great one. It is Wednesday. Day. I really thought Babs was going to do it.
I was about to.
So did I.
I was about to. That's all right. Slay had it.
Dawn is here, though.
Hi. Let's go. We are on Draft Eve, ladies and gentlemen.
Finally here.
Twitches?
Speaking of, you can watch the show YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Ronald Sylvester Slay.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
On it today.
We right there. 1-1 right there. Let's go.
On it today.
We will spend, obviously, most of the show talking about the NFL draft, but we need to start with that incredible effort last night by the Nashville Predators.
Man came with it, smacked them down, didn't let them get up, put foot on throat, win Slay money.
You could make the case that Vancouver was the better team yesterday, just aesthetically. But man, all the shot blocking. I mean, dudes diving in front of pucks, and they blocked 32 shots, and then Vancouver had like 80-something shots. And not shots on goal, but shots. And I thought it was interesting that they were talking about how many times they had missed the net, and that they were missing the net because they couldn't put it on the net because, like, psychologically speaking, because the Preds were blocking them all. Like, they weren't even getting the Saros. There were two pucks that hit the post, too. And one of them hit as Saros has his back to the goal, the right post, and he tapped it with his stick. Thanks, buddy. Hockey, man, that's a crazy intense thing. Stanley Cup playoffs, crazy intense.
By the way, just a heads up for in our 5 o'clock hour, thanks to Artisan Custom Closet, I will be giving away 2 tickets to the game on Sunday, Game 4, Preds.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a late afternoon start.
Be in the building. You can be in the building, at the game, in your seat, or at the bar.
Or at the bar like Slay does. It's a 4 p.m. start, so it's
4
perfect.
p.m. There you go.
Perfect happy hour time.
Yep. Friday is at 6:30. Preds a -120 favorite at home to take the 2-1 lead. But man, what an effort! Just watching guys just give themselves up, and you feel it. When that puck, like one-timers and, full-on slap shots and get those ice packs ready, baby.
Yeah, it's going to be on.
What an effort last night by the Preds. So exciting times there. They take home ice advantage. Man, there's so many storylines with regard to the NFL draft. So question for you. And I've been trying to figure out how to phrase this question. By the way, the producer of 3HL is Joe Hunk. What time?
Sup, Hunk?
What time did you leave this morning?
Woke up. Alarm went off at 4 a.m. I was on the road by 4:45.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The CEO of our company was here for a meeting with all of us at 9 o'clock in the morning. So,
What
and
up,
Hunk
Mary?
I wish you would have started today's meeting
And
with that.
I thought I was out of line coming in saying, good morning, everyone. I wish Babs would have came in and hit us with that.
What up, Mary?
It wasn't fair to you, though, because you rolled in at like 8:55, and the meeting was supposed to start at 9, but
She started early.
we went rolling.
I thought she was just up there like doing a little montage?
Monologue.
Monologue. Yeah, I
No,
thought
she
was doing-
straight started early.
Yeah, like what?
I'm like, don't
whoa.
you know what kind of people work here? You can't start things early.
What we
Yeah,
doing?
you got a lot of people driving in that aren't used to driving in the morning
Like
either,
us.
and don't allot themselves the proper amount of time.
It'd be cool.
Hey, I was here on time.
Yeah, you
Good
are.
job, Babs.
It's pretty amazing. Hunk had a hamburger at like
Darn
5
right.
in the morning. I didn't even know they
nuts.
served
I
them
didn't
that
either.
early.
Yeah, Whataburgers all day.
I had the app.
crazy.
I
Like Sonic.
opened the app. I went to my order and it said, "Would you like to check out?" I said, "Wait, I can actually order a hamburger at 5 a.m.? Heck yeah, I'll order a hamburger."
I like that
That
you
is
tried
so weird.
without even knowing.
Yeah.
It's figured because they look. When I say there's a Whataburger directly in front of my house, it's all of 100 yards. I pull out of my house, I see the Whataburger sign. 24 hours is either that or go get a breakfast sandwich. Hamburger one.
I feel like it would have been sitting on my chest, a hamburger that early.
Yeah. I don't know how people do that. Eat lunch for breakfast.
Yeah, that's tough.
I can't do it. I can't
eat
even eat
breakfast.
breakfast for breakfast.
I eat breakfast for dinner
Well, that's a thing. I mean, that's legit.
or lunch,
I don't know that I've ever
which is
done that.
brunch.
That's right. So if lunch and dinner are combined, is it Linner?
D-
Leper? Leper
Yeah,
sounds awful.
No, but that's kind of like what it is: supper, dinner, and lunch.
ESPN content producer Paul Hembo calculated the percentage of first-round picks that hit or miss based upon whether that player signed a second contract with the team that drafted them. Okay? Mm-hmm. This is 20 drafts,
This is fascinating.
2000 through 2019. Yeah, y'all passed this along yesterday, and we didn't get to it because we were talking about the real Scream and the Gainesville Ripper. And anyway.
For like 2 seconds.
I know.
Actually, we were talking about Roma Dunze
Right. Roma Dunze got a lot of love yesterday from me.
and not from me.
Yes. All right. Position hit rate. Okay.
Okay.
Center, 92%.
Already got one.
Yeah. And listening to Ben talk on Buck Show,
Ben Jones.
Ben Jones, he said when he was looking at like ways to defend really talented defensive linemen, he would look at Cushenberry's tape. He was like,
That's pretty good. One of
Man,
the
what?
best, looking at the best.
He said Vrabel and them, before Vrabel got fired, obviously, asked him about like the potential centers that would be on the market, and he said that's the best guy and walked away. Like, I don't even need to have a conversation
That's
with you,
dope.
That's huge.
is what he said. So, yeah,
That is the highest percentage, by the way. 92%. Are you kidding me?
11 hits, 1 miss. So there have only been 11 centers taken in the first
Right.
round the
So
last
it's
20.
relative.
In those 20 drafts, yeah. But 11 hits, 1 miss. Center, 92%. Number 2, offensive tackle,
Hey,
Let's go.
59%. 59%.
And this is first round,
Yeah.
not top 10.
right.
This is the entire first round.
That's right. 38 hits, 26 misses, 64 total first round picks for offensive tackle. Third is
59%.
guard. So, I mean, you're just going down the offensive line.
Yeah.
Is it just that easy to evaluate the top end offensive line talent?
Do you know what else I think plays in?
Because 1 is center, 2 is tackle, 3 is guard. That's the top 3. Guard's 50%.
Right. I also think that those guys are hard to find. And when you find them, they go in the first round because you know what you're getting. Because good ones are hard to find.
Got to hold on.
Yep. So you have to get them early.
Hold on.
Like you're not going to get lucky and
This is going to hurt.
get one in the third round very often.
Linebacker, number 4, 48%. Quarterback, number 5, 46%. So less than a 50% hit rate on quarterbacks in the first round.
That's actually higher than I thought it was.
Yeah, a lot of them get washed.
Because, I mean, basically they all go in or for the most part, they go in the first
Yep.
round.
And I always say that because, like, no quarterback draft is the same. Like, you can't just because 4 quarterbacks might go 1, 2, 3, 4, how do they compare to like the last 10 quarterback drafts?
Well, and
you know what I mean?
There's always somebody who needs a quarterback.
Right. So they're
if you're
gonna,
that bad,
to your point, they're going to go high whether they deserve to or not.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So quarterback, 46%. Then edge rusher, 44%. Defensive tackle, 40%. These are hit rates on first-round draft. Cornerback positionally. Cornerback, 38%, tied with running back at 38%. Safety, 34%. Tight end, Brock Bowers. Remember we said, what was it, 10 tight ends in the first round the last 10 years, and one had made a Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one had a 1,000-yard season?
That's nuts. And it makes so much sense now when you look at it like that.
But there's only 24 total, too.
Is Brock Bowers
that have been
different, though?
taken.
I'm not saying Titans take him. I'm just saying if he ends up with the Jets or wherever he goes, is he going to be?
You guys were all in on Pitts talking about how different he was.
That's my thing.
Now, will that come to fruition?
It did.
Maybe, but he's not what. I mean, you guys were ready to mortgage the entire draft for that dude.
That's right.
We were.
That's right. Yeah, me and my dog, listen, when we get out there on that plank, ain't no need looking back.
Boy, that guy was an athletic flash.
Yeah, freak flash.
Bowers is more like when you watch full games with Pitts back in college, you would see like the splash plays and things like that. With Bowers, it's like down and down and down and down. Like you got to know where that guy is.
Yep.
And then he'll get bracketed and still make the catch, and he can run block.
They did a lot
like
with
Pitts ain't run blocking. Tight end is second to worst, 33%. Wide receiver is the worst hit rate in the first round, 27%.
Is that surprising?
21 hits, 56 misses.
That's a lot of misses.
Because you start thinking about guys like John Ross, who runs like a 4.21, and just you think he's going to be something, and he doesn't because he's not a dog. And, I don't know. I think wide receiver is like the hot girl at the bar, right?
I do feel different.
Wait, you're going to have to expound on that.
You have no idea what the personality is like. You have no idea how smart she is, but you still go over there.
Okay. Now, what happens when drinking's involved? Does that change the hot girl at the bar?
That probably takes wide receiver from last to beyond last.
You probably don't look at stats.
I have a rule: don't drink and draft.
Yeah, well, that's probably a good point.
It's probably a good rule.
Could you imagine if you went to the Bears war room and they're all in there with a keg and hey man, we got picks 1 and 9 and then we're done for a while.
We're gonna live with it, y'all.
And we already know we're taking it 1.
Somebody wake them up. We're picking again.
So wide receiver is the worst. So the total hit rate on first round picks, period, is 43%.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot.
Yep.
And all the money they spend to scout all these dudes.
I mean, you've got better odds on roulette at the casino.
John in the borough, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, basketball recruiting question. We appreciate you listening and we appreciate you calling in, but we're probably not going to deal with that right now. Okay? Love you, brother. Call back. Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Coming up next, you know what we were talking about out there? Was the trade chart that I brought up yesterday. Mm-hmm. And they actually mentioned, just hypothetically speaking, which was funny, that like if J.J. McCarthy, for example, is still there at 7, that Sean Payton that's his kind of guy, right? And I said, that's the pick I did yesterday. I did Titans trading back to 12. And so, like, they were talking about, we'll ask Coach Mack about it. They don't have a lot of draft capital.
No.
They don't have a second-round pick, the Broncos. So they're talking about, and I read it today, I think it was Diana Rossini talking about it would be 12, another pick, like a third-round pick, maybe a pick next year, and Patrick Surtain.
I mean, that would leave them with nothing. Nothing.
But if you ain't got a quarterback, you ain't got a team.
That's right.
Glorified
And boy,
you have a quarterback with nothing else, you're screwed too.
I'd have to take a look at that deal if I was Rand.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Mack,
especially
next.
if you're just moving back to 12.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Yep.
What up, fellas? You been feeling tired and grumpy? I got something for you. Low T Center is where you need to go. It's not your typical doctor's office. You don't even have to go in. They have affordable and convenient treatment options, including physician-monitored self-inject treatments. That's right. 4, established patients that ship directly to your home each month, so there's no need to drive to the center for weekly visits. Right now, Low T Center is only $25 to get your T levels tested. It makes sense, man. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, sometimes it's time to upgrade things in your home, like your windows and your doors. That's how it was for us. Maybe you're in that position. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to lie. It's the last thing I wanted to do was spend money on new windows and doors, but I didn't have a choice in my rental property and my house. My downstairs windows were allowing bugs to come in. So I went ahead and did the research, talked to a bunch of different companies, and I found Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, and they were by far my favorite from the get-go. From the beginning, my very first call, to the entire process, and for pricing too, because you might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella. Affordable and the best quality out there on top of it. I love a good deal. I know you love a good deal. My friends at Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville are giving you a good deal right now. 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. You can go visit them in their showroom in Franklin, 277 Mallory Station Road. It's awesome. They can pull out different windows and show you everything in person, or just go online and schedule your free consultation. Check out that special I told you about. It's pretty easy. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville at PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Did y'all know the NFL draft is tomorrow?
Thank the Lord.
Draft day.
So I parked in the parking lot, and I saw this guy that had parked any kind of way that he wanted to, and I was like, oh, that's Coach Mack.
Oh, yes, on.
He pulled
And it
in.
was.
He was like, he took up 3 slots or whatever. So he lowers the window. I look inside. I peer inside the window. And not only is it Coach Mack in that vehicle, it was Rhett Bryan.
That's
And I
some
said,
high-octane stuff.
boy, this is the think tank right here.
Yeah, buddy.
So then Davenport pulls in, and Coach Mack honks at her, and she pieces, but I thought she had just flipped a bird.
Oh, no.
And I told Coach Mack that, and he goes, yeah, that would have been acceptable too.
Yeah, like it's draft day. Anything's in it. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's draft day eve.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, draft day.
So Coach Mack joins us now on 3HL on NFL Draft Eve. Coach, what's up? How are you?
Well, first of all, Don, you look great in that white platinum F-150.
Thank you, Coach.
That is you. It makes me miss my F-150. I had drove one for years and years. I may have to swap out with you just one day, or I'll come out, swap at the parking lot, drive around, put miles on it, and just feel it. You look great in that thing.
Thanks,
I mean,
Coach.
you
Thanks,
really did.
thanks
And
for telling
look,
me to do it.
Well, and then I'm in a meeting here with some people way more important than I am. But I walked in, and I told them, look, I said, as Ron Slay would say, I'm in the building.
Yeah.
But I've got to take care of my radio people first. He said, oh, Coach Mack, we'll wait on you. I said, okay, so go ahead. Now we're ready.
I'm in the building.
So
baby.
first question, and I asked you this in the car, but I'm going to ask you this like on record now. NFL teams, what are they doing today? Hay is in the barn. Are they taking calls? Are they having like a big keg party? What's going on?
You're taking calls and you're finalizing. I mean, there's always going to be one or two guys that you're not quite even with, and so you want to get that in. I went up to practice today, Brent, and I wanted to watch him work. And then I talked extensively with Rand Carthon, with Bill and Brian Callahan, with Frank Bush. I talked with all the coaches. I didn't mention one word of the draft because I'm not going to breach that protocol. But I was telling Brent this. It was really fun. Of course, I visited with Bill Callahan for about 20 minutes after practice. But it was really fun to watch him coach. And, I mean, of course, as a lifelong coach, I'm standing there, and that's what I told him. I said, hey, I enjoyed that. So anyway, that's something to look forward to.
Before you jump off of that part of it, what a cool opportunity it is for a guy later in life to have that experience with his son, right?
And he said that too, Brent. Now, I told you, he said that. He said, Mack, this is really special. It's special for me. And I said, it's a magnanimous move too by the Browns. And he said, no doubt. He said, I'm very grateful. He said, but this is historic. And he said, I'm just so proud, and I'm just so happy to be here. And it's a big plus. It's a big plus for the Titans, guys. Huge.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's real, Dawn. I mean, it is. And as I said, we just chopped it up as two lifelong ball coaches out there, just talking. And I told him how cool that was. And really, you got to give the Haslams, and you got to give credit to that club for letting him leave, because I mean, he's a commodity. He is a commodity in this league, and they understood the dynamics of that. I mean, this might be a once in a lifetime thing that this ever happened. So I'm just glad it's happening for us here in Nashville with the Titans.
Well, he's going to have his work cut out for him. We know with what the offensive line looked like in the past. So did he let you know, like, hey, I got some potential here in this room I can work with. I can develop some of these guys that are already here?
You know what? I don't dig into that with him. I just said I enjoyed watching you work. the protocols of that's one reason I've been able to stay connected, and people will talk to me after 39 years. I don't ask questions. I don't ask those kind of questions at the wrong time. Mm-hmm. There'll be a time when I'll be with him and we'll be chopping it up for real. But this was an early camp that they got to have because they were a new staff. And I just, expressly, I told Ashley Farrell was with me, and Kaylee from the, PR department. I said, let's walk around here and watch these quarterbacks, and then I want to watch Bill Callahan.
So you watching quarterbacks? That mean you may, and you ain't got to reveal too much. That mean the quarterbacks ain't just doing footwork. They got to throw to somebody, Coach Mack. Did you see one or two catches by old number 16 Traylon Burks?
Oh, jeez.
Ron Slay.
What's up, Coach?
He was out there and he was catching passes.
Come on, man! Come on, man! Come on, man! Come on, man!
Well, what's he supposed to do? He's a wide receiver.
No, don't downplay this. Don't downplay this.
Has he got the jersey on yet?
Yep, he just put it on.
He's walking around the studio.
He was waiting for you to say something
He's
so he
strutting.
could put it on.
Now he's
Hey,
in formation, like he's going to go out for a pass.
I'm trying to see if you want me to go in motion or what, Coach, man, because I'll go.
I don't want you to go in motion. I tell you what I do want you to do, though, and I talked with the people at the Nashville Cats, and I want to take you to a Cats game because they told me I've got VIP carte blanche at Cats game. I want you to go to a Cats game with me.
Or if I wear my jersey.
You can wear your jersey, and that
You
to
wear
me,
whatever you want.
I think the Arena Ball would love having you down there.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Mack.
Yes.
I will ask you this about Burks because you wouldn't know because you're not on, you don't pay attention to the X Machine Twitter and all that. But there was a thread going around talking about how he looks like he's out of shape when he came in. And it was all judged on like the Titans video of him walking in from the parking garage, right? I didn't think he looked like he's out of shape. I'm like, maybe people forget Burks is a big A dude, I didn't think he looked out of shape. Does he look out of shape on the field?
Don, you are exactly correct.
He's a big dude. He did not look out of shape, did he?
No.
Okay. There you go. Now that we've cleared that up.
Wait, did you see any piss missiles out there, Coach?
I'm going to tell you something. you know that young quarterback we have can throw some of those.
Yes, he can.
You don't have to be a quarterback savant to know that dude's got a really, really strong arm. It's interesting watching the way they did. They did some. They can't go against the defense, but it's interesting watching the way that they
look at him.
That they did their their 5-out drill that they were working on. They did their 5-out drill, but they had all three quarterbacks throwing. And then they had, two others, a couple of coaches. So when they got 5 out, everybody was getting the ball thrown to them.
Love it. All right. So how does all this work? So I would guess they're not getting calls today, right? Like we're at the point now where the calls are going to happen when people go on the clock, right?
Well, either tonight or in the morning they could start being called too. But if you're, and you and I talked about this, Brent, which I thought was very relevant. I mean, if somebody wants to come up to you, you got to take the call. If somebody's coming up to you, you're not initiating any calls. And then when they call up to you, the thing you don't want to hear. I worked the phones for years in this, and if I ever got a call, that said, what would you take? I stopped right there. I said, no, you're wanting to make a deal with me. What are you offering? Don't tell me to show my cards before you show me yours, especially if you're the one that wants to come up. That's number one. And so to your point, this is about the time that it will start. But if somebody's coming up to you, they have to have something in mind that they are willing to give up and then start chumming the water and fishing with that.
So you say all the time, and it's so true. We were just talking about it. Like there's a quarterback draft and then there's the rest of the draft, right?
No doubt.
So when does this draft actually start? Pick 4 with Arizona? Well, because if they trade, then somebody's coming up to get another quarterback, and that means the Titans have the 3rd overall pick. Or does Arizona stay there and take Harrison Jr.?
Yeah, I think, and of course, Monty Austinfort knows, he likes to deal, but he also knows he's sitting in a pretty good catbird seat right now, and he's going to get an elite player there. So somebody's going to have to knock his socks off to come up there and take that away, because he's, I think the draft starts at 3 though myself.
Okay.
Because I think I think that's where it starts at 3, because that's where some of the intrigue comes. And then I think, depending on how that peg falls, then you're going to start looking at your teams. The Minnesotas and the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings that and the Broncos that need quarterbacks I kind of think that's where it'll start, depending on what that third peg does. And so, to me, that's where it starts, and then everything else in the quarterback world will riff off of that. And then once the quarterbacks have gone, and you look at this thing, and as many offensive players as I think will be taken, in the top 32 picks. I mean, there could be 5 quarterbacks, and Michael Penix may sneak in there at the bottom. I don't know the way quarterbacks go, but there's going to be, and again, there are some positions on defense where there's not elite players, and so the run on those guys will start in the second round. But there's a few elite players that are going to be pushed down to people just because of the way I think this quarterback thing and the receiver thing is going to play out.
Do you just kind of compare into like drafts in the past as far as like talk and, there's, this could be one of the crazier drafts with trades and this and that. Does it feel like we could see something a little out of the ordinary tomorrow night?
I think it depends. I think, again, like I say, that third spot, kind of pays it to me. And then there's always a feeding frenzy, for quarterbacks. And then it depends on what those other, who that knocks down. And to me, you start looking at teams that have limited draft capital, but may think that as you get towards the bottom of the draft, those teams that are drafting at the bottom, they're probably closer to having a complete roster. They may be willing now to go up to get that one player that they know won't be there in the second round. So I think those two will factor into this thing, Dawn.
Okay.
Coach Mack with us, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Let's say Joe Alt and Malik Neighbors are gone, and Harrison Jr. is gone. What do you think about Odunze? Because I think it was Daniel Jeremiah I read today, maybe, or Matt Miller. One of those guys thinks that he is actually the best receiver in this draft and the most polished guy, even though he doesn't have that high-end elite speed the other two do. What do you think about Odunze at 7 if they're confronted with that possibility?
Well, he's a good player. He's not as explosive. Neighbors is the most explosive receiver in this draft. The most complete receiver is Harrison. Odunze reminds me a lot of Keenan Allen. Remember how he was when he was coming out? I mean, just knows how to run routes, how to get open, how to do those. To me, though, guys, it depends on what people have and where they have. See, we don't know where people have these tackles ranked.
Right.
Tackles is a deep group. And again, I mean, we're sitting here with in my humble opinion, the best offensive line coach in the league. We don't know how his board's set as far as what he's gone through and which guy, which tackles that he likes. So to me, the tackle group still has to figure in somewhere there too, because there are tackles, beyond Alt that can play too. Now, you reach a line of demarcation, but I think it's further down. So that's what's fascinating to me. And again, as I said, I don't breach protocol. I don't ask them what they're thinking, but when I just look at it overall, talking to people out, in the universe about this overall, this tackle class has gotten everybody's attention.
Yeah, it seems like you see this every year where everybody just has the prohibited guy that everybody just assumes is the best guy at that position, and then somebody else gets drafted. Like I could see, so the Chargers have a Pro Bowl second team All-Pro left tackle, right? But people are saying maybe Joe Alt goes there. What if they go J.C. Latham, and then J.C. Latham ends up playing right tackle for the Chargers because that's how they view him, and then he's the first offensive lineman gone, I mean, that's the beauty of this entertaining sports option that we have tomorrow.
It is, Brent, and the only way that can happen is because you've got some guys that are graded pretty close. Now, look, none of these guys are coming complete. I know you guys got that as far as hits on first-round picks across the league, and it's still people choosing people, and it's pretty fascinating, really. I thought that's why I wanted to pass it on. I thought that was a fascinating graph that just shows the stark reality of what the draft is, and it also shows you how not only the vetting procedure can go a big span of people, it also shows you how it's still an inexact science.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Mack with us on 3HL.
You wanted to talk about the draft chart.
Yes. So we were talking about this at your car, and I actually brought this up yesterday, was the potential of going down to 12. And I found the draft trade card and the values for each pick and all these things. So the Titans would earn 300 points in this draft card. And so the way I looked at it was third round, fourth round for Denver because they don't have a second round pick. But there are so many other qualifiers that exist now that didn't exist when this chart came out, correct?
Yeah, there you go. And you and I got pretty deep into it there in the car with Rhett, and it's something that's important because when Dave Lundstedt came to the Bears from Jimmy Johnson's the one that put this chart together originally, and Jimmy Johnson is a numbers savant. He really is. And so that original chart, but that original chart was made when there was no free agency and no salary cap, which has a huge implication on that. So, people had to start readjusting their chart, the original Jimmy Johnson chart off of that. And then when the compensatory picks came in, you had to readjust the chart again because now you've got more picks starting from the third round to the seventh. And then the other thing that happened with the compensatories, then when they made it possible to trade compensatories, that puts a different value on those. And so the values, the value starts at the top and everything else works numerically off of that. And so anytime you get into this, and I worked the phones for 30 years, the thing that you do as you got deeper into this, and everybody's got somebody in the room, I promise you, one of those, punching a computer over there, that anytime, somebody's, proposing a trade, especially on the clock or 2 or 3 picks away from yours, then, you just say it out loud. I've got this, and the person over there that's a guru punches it in and looks at you and gives you a thumbs up or gives you +5, which means that's +5 or minus 5 or minus 500. But the thing that you always ask, and we started doing this, is which chart are you working off of? And really, you don't have to, if you get the top number on the chart, everything else, works sequentially off of that. So the charts, I think you can look at any chart, but when you're making a trade, you just, if you're going with chart value, you just want to be sure that you're using the same or close to the same chart as your trade partner.
Right, because, like we said, Denver doesn't have a second-round pick, so maybe they include a player. Because I saw Diana Rossini and Rhett mention this too, potentially. Patrick Surtain might be available in a trade situation like that. And, that's a dude now.
Yeah, but that's what Denver has to do because they don't.
Yeah.
They've already started mortgaging the future.
Yep.
They've already started mortgaging the future for what's going on now. So in those kind of likelihoods, then a player is usually involved, and then the quality of player, depending on the disparity between where you're moving up from and where you would be moving back to, quantifies the type of player that you would accept.
Love it, Coach. Great job. We'll see you tomorrow. Titans Radio will be all over it tomorrow and Friday, and we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Coach Mack.
Absolutely, guys. Always a pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow at Nissan Stadium. See you.
I'll be out there running routes.
See you there.
You know what I took from that entire conversation?
Jersey.
That's right.
What?
Burks was catching passes today.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me? I ain't just
And he was
anybody
in
that's doing
shape.
it. Come on now, Babs. Y'all ain't doing nothing but speaking the gospel. Y'all telling the truth, shaming the devil. And he's sitting right here.
Diana Rossini wrote a piece today, what she's hearing the day before the draft, some notes there, and what she said about the Titans next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Upton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. It is a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful day to head over to Springfield. And, man, what a great drive, too. Get it done. Maybe you've been thinking about it for a minute. Maybe you've been going through the process, dealership to dealership. Make sure you include Gupton in that process. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville, and you can get it done. They will offer no pressure at all on you. They simply want you in the vehicle that's right for you. And that's what will happen. Go take your test drive. Are you saying stop drinking that? Murphy from WTN brought us RC Colas, and you just looked at the label, and I've already taken like 5 sips of this thing.
Oh, stop.
Stop, drop, and roll, and go to Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Get that next new car, truck, SUV, or Jeep. Take your test drive, go inside. They'll help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All the dealership information is there. All of the inventory is there as well. That's GuptonMotors.com. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in Springville, Tennessee. Just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
What's up? What's happening, good people? You know what it is. It's Ron Slade. Bringing Kellum Stem Cell Institute straight to your doorstep. Holistic stem cell therapy is what you need. You got to get involved with it. Your body, your cells, your solution. Going to add on to anything and take everything out of you when it comes to inflammation. Get to attacking your inflammation in your body so you don't have that flaring up sensation of when you're going out for a walk or you're going on a long trip. You know that intense burn that you get? That's what I got. Yeah, I got it done, and I have not had that problem. All you got to do is set up a consultation today, 615-850-4415. And listen, believe me when I tell you, I'm not lying to you. It works. Like, I'm all for talking to everybody. Listen, reach out to me. I'll give you my testimony, but I'm giving it to you on here daily when I'm telling you about the holistic stem cell therapy. Go to KellumStemCellInstitute.com. Don't take my word for it. Go check it out yourself.
3HL 1045. So, how long has Rapper's Light been going?
It's about been going almost a minute. We're good.
Stop
this
it.
This song is at least
It really has.
10, 12, might be 14 minutes. This song, though.
Yeah,
It's a long song. I promise you.
We were talking to Murph,
Murph, shut up.
from WTN. Hunk literally said, Murph, shut up.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Well, we were talking about the RC Cola that he brought in here.
Because he did like moon pie tasting, which is why I have 8 moon pies on my desk.
You have moon pies. I did the RC because I haven't had an RC in forever. So I started drinking the RC. I drink like half of it. So I'm talking about Gupton, and you guys are over there, and I could see you like reading the nutritional value, and your reactions were like, and so then I was like, am I about to have a heart attack? Like,
Yes.
these are the things I'm thinking about while I'm talking about Gupton.
Sorry.
And so then I look, after I get done, Slay starts talking, I look and it says 43 grams of sugar.
Added sugars.
Added sugar.
Like,
Yeah,
how
which
do you
is
even
worse
do
than
that?
sugar.
So Murph's in here going, well, they made this formula in 1905. They were competing against Coca-Cola that still had cocaine in it.
Yeah, you gotta win. You gotta beat them somehow. Babsy, that king size, that king size caramello that you're holding, how many added sugars does it have?
14 grams.
And this
That one has 46.
Dude, this, and you know what's even crazy? I just looked up how much does Coca-Cola have in it. Y'all know how much Coca-Cola still got in it? In a 12-ounce
A
can?
lot.
39 grams.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Let's just say none of this crap is on our Awaken 180 approved list.
Hey, y'all have a Coke and a smile for me, y'all.
That's right. It's Eddie Murphy Raw.
Hey,
Tell Bill I said to have
I'm
a
gonna
Coke and a
say-
smile and shut the F up.
Right.
Moon pies are the OG, though.
They taste like chalk.
No, you're wrong.
That was another Murph thing. He said, well, they made moon pies in 1919 or 1911. What were you eating in 1911? Like, he said, like sawdust. I said burlap. And he goes, so then they were great. But now you have so many more choices.
What is it?
They're still
I'm all for moon pies. They're a Nashville thing.
They're yummy.
Did y'all know people? Well, I'm sure y'all know people, but do y'all know people that eat red? What is it? Red clay? Red dirt?
What?
Y'all know what I'm. Y'all know what I'm talking about out there. And listeners, I'm guaranteeing you.
Red
what's
dirt.
the name? Yeah.
I mean, I know Red Dirt Road, the song.
It's something else too. Golly, hold on, Slay.
Hold on, Slay.
I love it when he starts talking to himself.
This is Burks letting you down because
God, no, Burks is out there working. You heard Coach Mack. You heard Jimmy Wyatt yesterday.
You got two personalities working against each other.
Hunk, I hope you clipping all this because I'm putting a montage together for my guy.
I'm actually looking up what people in 1911 used to eat.
Oh, my gosh.
Starch.
Starch.
Y'all know people eat starch too.
Well, starch goes in things.
No, I got.
Starch makes things rise.
I had a homegirl. See, this is another little slay tidbit. I had a homegirl named DJ Bell. Well, she's still out here. DJ Bell. She used to eat starch.
So you have a
Yeah, I got a homegirl named DJ.
Sorry,
Bell.
DJ. He's not killing you off.
Yeah, but you
You're
know who
still
gave-
around.
No, her name is Bell. I just threw DJ Bell because she'll start singing.
Oh, Bell.
Yeah, so no, you can call her DJ Bell.
Rachel Bell.
Okay.
No, DJ Bell. Like chirpy DJ Bell. Yeah.
Okay.
But still,
Maybe you had one of these RCs. You're out there.
I don't know.
Or needs one.
No, I got my joke. You heard Coach Mack.
It's probably not good for a diabetic guy either.
No.
Yeah, no.
Probably going to send your numbers skyrocket.
That's what made me nervous while y'all were doing that because I had already drank it and not looked.
I'm telling y'all act like
All right.
red clay, red dirt. I can't think of the real name.
I have no
Also,
idea
starch
what
is
you're
used in
talking about.
baking, but anyway.
Yes, but eating raw starch.
Wow.
Oh. I'm like, potatoes are.
No, not
Isn't that
starches.
starch?
No,
That is a
but
kind
of
starch. Yeah.
Starch, yeah.
I'm talking about the real starch.
Like that comes in a box.
Bingo! I
Yeah.
knew you knew.
I know.
I knew deep down you knew.
I know what it is.
I don't know.
Diana Rossini wrote a piece, what she's hearing the day before the draft. She says everyone in the league tells you, don't get cute. They use that phrase, like everybody uses that phrase. Stay with the plan, don't get cute. This is what she said about the Titans in her little piece today. After spending heavily in free agency and addressing many needs, the one position not addressed by the Titans this offseason was offensive tackle. Look for them to not get cute. and take their tackle at number 7. If the player they want is not there, I would not be surprised if the Titans go wide receiver, understanding that new coach Brian Callahan wants to score points. The Titans fell in love with Harrison during the combine interview, but the chances that he's there at 7 are slim. Keep in mind, Chad Brinker, who has seen his involvement, I meant to talk with y'all about this off air. Chad Brinker, who has seen his involvement increase this offseason, comes from the Packers front office, and that franchise has not gone wide receiver in the first round since 2002.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she had to say about the Titans. She's got a lot of other things. Where does Michael Penix Jr. go? A lot of people are saying that he's going to end up going higher than everybody thought. What do the Chargers do at 5? Left tackle Rashawn Slater, 2021 first-round pick, went 13th overall. Is their left tackle, Pro Bowler, second-team All-Pro. Also, Bruce Feldman with a piece we'll talk about today. Multiple execs think Malik Neighbors is the best wide receiver in the draft. We'll talk about that.
Also, I want to read just that excerpt from Michael Penix Jr.'s Players Tribune piece.
Meant to do that yesterday, and why don't we do that when we come back?
It'll make you be like, okay.
And then if you want in, we've got a question. I was going to ask y'all, how should we phrase this? Who do you think the Titans take? Who would you want them to take? Or who would you take if you were them? What should be the second question? Who do you want them to take? I guess it's the same thing.
It's the same.
Yeah, so who do you think they take? Who would you want them to take? 615-737-1045.
What's happening? Looking for quality where you found it? I'm talking about Wesley Mortgage, though. WhyWesley.com. Chuck McDowell is a quality guy, man. I promise you this, man. Genuine guy. When you sit down and have the opportunity to talk to him, you'll hear Nashville oozing out of him. He cares about the community, proud to serve them, and reinvest in the people and the places that make Nashville such a wonderful place. Now, the business that he's the helm of, you got to understand why Wesley, WhyWesley.com is all about recruiting top mortgage talent, and they are now hiring. So you have an opportunity to come join the leadership team over at Wesley Mortgage and get a support system in place to help you succeed in the mortgage business, ensuring your loans close on time, making sure you get paid, giving you back the time to build your business and bring back the fun of mortgage professionals. Isn't that good and refreshing to hear, people? You got an opportunity to be involved with the Titans Music City Grand Prix, Nashville Predators, and even more. Just get over there and hit them up at WhyWesley.com.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hung. Nothing new Titans-wise, as all is quiet heading into tomorrow night's draft. And Cincy, though, they have announced that they are exercising the fifth-year option on wide receiver Jamar Chase because you would be crazy not to. You have the Pittsburgh Steelers saying that they're not expected to pick up quarterback Justin Fields' $25 million fifth-year option, which is another obvious. And something that also should be obvious is the fact that Reggie Bush is the 2005 Heisman Trophy winner again, as the Heisman Trust has announced that they are formally reinstating him because of enormous changes in the college football landscape. Like what he did back then was no big deal. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home 23HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone, NFL Draft Eve, Wednesday edition. Which means what?
Jay!
Evident Bank chat is open. You can hit us there. Watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Hi, Babsy.
Hi.
What up, man?
Happy Wednesday, people.
So I couldn't get the parlay going yesterday.
Man.
So I was like, well, if I'm going to sit here and watch this, I'm going to throw a little something on it.
Smart.
I went Dallas. Smart. You don't even know what I did. Went Dallas Mavericks, money line. Which I thought that you had told me to do that, but I couldn't remember.
I do.
But I just went there in the moment, and then I went Preds.
See, that's smart. I told you that one too. My whole part.
Hyperbole. Yes, I speak 3HL. That's what the listeners are thinking.
That's what Baby Babs. I was speaking Baby Babs right there. She was speaking to me like that the other day.
That's right.
But this is my whole hockey parlay hit. That's what I was trying to say.
Wow.
The 4-leg.
See, and I gotta sit here and question you when you do it. I'm like, you don't even know where Winnipeg is. And you're like, it's in Canada.
Yeah, I'm just trying to tell you where it is. Where the money gonna be won.
That's all you need to know.
That is it, Babs.
And you watch none of those games.
Didn't need to. I knew
Except the Preds.
Yeah, I did watch Preds.
I did get, I've started to get locked into some, I'll just flip around. Hockey, NBA, all of it. Yeah. The NBA playoffs are great.
They are, man.
Miami at Boston tonight. Boston minus 14.5.
Yeah, I took Miami with that. I took the points with Miami.
That's a lot of points.
Whole lot.
How about Boston minus 9 the first half? Still too many?
I don't like Miami with their back against the wall. I expect Boston to win, but I don't bet against Miami.
New Orleans at OKC. OKC by 7.5 tonight.
I think OKC win. I don't know about covering.
Preds are a minus 120 favorite on Friday when they come back to Bridgestone Arena.
The Stone.
That whole goalie thing.
Dude.
Yeah, that
plays into it.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be live. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we talked with Alex Daugherty yesterday. Demko, their goaltender, out, obviously, yesterday. So, Rick Tocchet, their coach, said after the game, it's a week-to-week thing with their goaltender.
It's off. Got to have the goaltender. Got to. You got to have your starting goaltender.
I mean, it doesn't matter how good your backup is, right?
Right. Yeah, just being honest. Like, you got to have the dog out there, man. Somebody's used to it.
I was pretty good with Pex and Soros, but.
So, how about the crowd in Vancouver starts chanting Casey. Casey DeSmith, their backup goaltender, was in the net yesterday, and they were chanting Casey. And I mean, right into the chant, boom, goal.
There you go, Casey. Take that.
What do you think that does to a guy? Like, you think you just let your team down? You let the entire building down. They're sitting there chanting your name, and then you give up a goal.
Yeah.
And then they sit down. And then they tried to, get it going again. It didn't have the same effect.
If the transfer portal was open, he'd probably be in it.
Like he disappears into the bushes like Homer Simpson, and you looking at a Dunze? 615-737-1045. Obviously, the Titans with the 7th pick coming up tomorrow. Do they stick and pick? Do they trade? Is all going to be there? Is Malik Neighbors going to be there? If so, what do you think happens. And we asked the question, who do you think they take and who would you want them to take? 615-737-1045. Michael Penix Jr. wrote a piece to NFL GMs in the Players Tribune. Babsy, you pointed this out to us. Do you have that?
I do.
He's talking about, for those that don't know, Michael Penix Jr. played 5 years of college football. His first 4 years of college football, he did not complete the season due to injury. So that's kind of where he is and what he wants to talk about.
Should I just read it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was waiting on that. I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't spoil
read it.
yourself?
Yeah, I didn't. I knew we were gonna have it on here, so I said, you know what? I'll wait on 3HL. And here we go.
Should I read the whole
Yeah.
thing? Okay. You ready?
I think it's worth it. I think it's interesting. Plus, this might be the pick that sends the Titans back, perhaps, if somebody comes up to try to get him.
If you haven't read this, it'll give you chills. Michael Penix Jr. wrote this in the Players Tribune. I hear it all the time. He's been injured. What happens if he gets injured again? Haven't I shown you what that looks like? Haven't I put almost 2,000 plays on tape since my last injury? Since my fourth season injury in 4 years, that's constantly mentioned whenever my name is brought up? Well, truth is, I'd be more worried if I had never been injured. We don't all come back the same. I can't speak for those that have never gone through anything, but I can speak on me. I've seen how deep my foundation is. I know the storms I'm prepared to weather. For most people, that'd be the end of their story, but there's more to my story, and I own every page of it. This isn't a solo journey for me. There's been plenty of other guys who were cut from the same fabric, who experienced the same challenges and displayed the same resilience. Guys you would have lost money on if you bet against them. Guys like Thomas Davis, who went on to make 3 Pro Bowls after tearing the same ACL 3 times. Guys like Frank Gore, who had his 16-year Hall of Fame level career at running back after tearing his ACL twice in college.
Yep.
I forgot about Gore.
Mm-hmm. It was nasty, too.
So I have no problem taking all the MRIs and x-rays that you ask of me. The truth is, it's an EKG that will tell you everything you need to know about me.
There you go.
The heart.
How about that?
And I feel it.
You want that guy in your locker room?
Yes, without question.
Mic drop.
And I think so. And I know this is, you know what, I ain't gonna bring it up, but I'm gonna use myself. We talk about injuries and stuff, and I always, throw my stuff out there as far as injuries. And a lot of people don't heal the same. So that's why if someone is brought in and we have maybe a similar injury, my thought is I can only give you my example. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it don't help. Case in point, Caleb Farley. Same exact injury, you know what I'm saying, as far as the back goes. And I'm not sure his recovery was exactly the same. So there you go. I'm rocking with Penix. I think he's that dude.
I like how he drops played 2,000 plays since my last injury.
Yeah, that's great. Man, I love that guy all year. Like, Babsy's the one that tuned us into him.
Yep, so was.
A couple years ago. And then you start watching and you stay up late and watch football and you watch those deep throws. Nobody threw the deep ball better than that guy.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And it's pretty too, man. There's something about, there aren't as many left-handed quarterbacks obviously now, but there's something about watching that ball come off the left hand, It's like in baseball. Like, the prettier swings are always the left-handed swings. And that's
really?
why, yes, for sure. Ken Griffey Jr., Will Clark. Like, you can go down the list. Righties hack at the ball. Lefties sometimes have that big loop thing going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you just don't see very many lefty quarterbacks anymore. Tua, Penix Jr., who else we got? Really nobody.
Good question.
But, like, the more you hear about Michael Penix Jr., the more you hear that somebody's going to come up and get him. And forever during the draft process, everybody thought he was like an early second-round guy, but it doesn't sound like that anymore.
Oh, I said, man, like, to me, he'd be the 4th quarterback taken. Caleb Williams, Drake May, in no particular order. I'm missing one. I was picking him before J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
I just got him before J.J. You got to give me a little something
My thing
else.
about JJ is, like, what do you know about him?
Man,
because he ran that, like, play action pass thing and
But
It's a pro style system, though.
when they needed a play, though, he made it. When they needed a deep ball, he made it. When they needed that, he did it.
Very true.
I guess maybe it's can he consistently.
So Rhett, this is what we were talking about. Rhett pointed out that he would be good in a Sean Payton system, J.J. McCarthy, because of his ability to hit those intermediate routes, that it matches well with what Sean Payton does. And so that's when I told him, like, it's funny that you mentioned that because that's the trade grade breakdown I did was Denver coming up to 7 to get potentially McCarthy if he's still there.
I love how Jaden Daniels, my bad.
Yeah. Who's going number 2?
Yeah.
This is what Rossini wrote about Michael Penix Jr. It's been assumed that the top 4 quarterbacks are Williams, Daniels, May, and McCarthy, but don't be surprised if Penix enters the discussion come Thursday. Recently, Penix Jr. has benefited as many offensive assistant coaches have spent time studying University of Washington players, including the Huskies starting offensive tackles and top 3 wide receivers. Though analysts and reporters have not mentioned his name at high volume over the last month, one GM told me, quote, he's the best kept secret in this draft.
Hey.
End quote.
Listen, it says something when you're able to sustain, to be able to bounce back from your career. You done set out 4 years. You learn something sitting and watching. You learn a lot sitting and watching. Then when you get your opportunity to play, and I'm saying that to say, when you get in those rooms and those meeting rooms with coaches and they really get to break down and hear your knowledge from the game, do you not think that man can get on a whiteboard and go bananas on it?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got to stay in tune while doing all your rehab and everything to be able to come back and perform this way. I think that
makes you smarter. Yeah.
Without
that's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. All right, let's go DJ next up on 3HL. DJ, what's up?
Oh, what's up? How y'all doing?
You calling somebody
DJ?
else?
Oh, 3-way.
No, I was trying to call my friend, but it's all good, man.
You called your friends.
You got to hustle in Nashville to make that money, you know?
Yeah.
What's up, man? What's up, Baby Babe? And what's up, Ron Slade?
What up,
DJ?
Yeah, Michael Penix is a beast. He is absolutely a beast. I did bet on him for the championship game. I lost. Bad story, but that guy's going to be a hell of an NFL quarterback prospect. He's got it. He's got everything. He's got it all. But my thing is, I lost my cousin to cancer last week. Glenn Carver, rest in peace, my brother.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
We went down there. Yeah, we went down there, and 2 years ago, man, he got that COVID, and then he had colon cancer. But we watched that Georgia Bulldogs 2 championships in a row, and he said, "Mark my words, brother. Whoever gets Brock Bowers is going to win 2 or 3 Super Bowls." My pick is on 7. Brock Bowers, let's go, baby. Clint Carver in heaven. You know, we don't need we got offensive line. Jesus, we got it all. They're going to coach him up, but we need that tight end, bro, number 7. We need a generational player. Let's go, Brock Bowers. Let's go, Glenn Carver. I'll hang up now.
Right.
What y'all say?
Thank you, DJ.
Thank you, DJ.
I
Rest
like
in
it.
peace, Mr. Carver.
Stupid disease.
Yep.
Brock Bowers, I love it. I love a lot of picks at 7. I'll get behind Joe Alt when they take him. Unless he goes 5. Todd Ferman coming up next. Bet the Board podcast, NFL draft betting, best way to do it. Preds, Canucks, how has that series changed now? NBA playoffs, that's next. Todd Ferman, the Todd Father, 104.5 The Zone.
One of my friends called Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville, and they were very happy with that decision. You can be too. Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville has been a family business since 1986, so they've been here in town over 38 years, and they have been making homes stunning with landscape lighting. Nashville's oldest landscape lighting company, and they're also the leader in LED technology. let's say you're interested. You know you need lighting. Maybe it's in your backyard, around your deck. Maybe it's the front of your home to make it look beautiful and enhance your home. Well, they offer a free nighttime design demonstration that will show you exactly how outdoor lighting perspectives can enhance your home and landscape. Just go ahead and check them out either at their location, 2215 Dunn Avenue in Nashville. It's right near the fairgrounds. You can go in and see Bob Lyons, the owner, and he'll come out to your house and see what they can do for you. Or the easiest thing, just go catch them online. If you are interested in lighting up your night, festival lights, path lights, wall washing, tree lighting, area lighting, you name it. Maintenance on your lighting systems that are already in place. Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville does it all. Online, it's outdoorlights.com/Nashville.
3HL 1045, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. Let's go down to Vegas. Our guy, Bet the Board podcast, Todd Ferman, joins us now. Todd Father, what's up?
He's still talking to me. Hold on.
Oh, Todd Father. Y'all better be talking about some bets, too, man.
No, why are you blaming Todd Father? That's on Hunt.
Yeah, it's on me.
That's on Hog.
He was getting some information from me, so I was telling him about some things.
Todd, why would you need information from Hunt?
Because I get no information from the three of you. All I get from you guys is a headache. I get information and direction from Joe, since we know he does the heavy lifting to try and keep you. He is the glue that holds 3HL together.
There is no question about that.
Thank you.
All I know is I got my finger on the button. On the button would be the wager and accept odds button after I talk to you.
You know, the biggest question I have for you, Slade, do you have any money left in any of your accounts throughout the great state of Tennessee with all the draft bets that you've made without absolutely putting a shred of time and or research into trying to make these wagers?
He bet 3 NHL games last night. Won all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Watched only one of them.
Yep.
Hey, look, sometimes that's what it takes. And when favorites come home, I have a feeling it's going to be highly correlated to Slay having a good day at the office.
We won't talk about the 7 player prop parlay that he laid down in the NBA.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, we won't worry about those details. No one wants to get lost in the accounting or the semantics of all this.
Missed that one.
No need to.
Do you do any betting on the draft, Todd?
I'll do a little bit. We've kind of scaled back some of the efforts that we've made over the years to really try and get ahead of it. The one thing I will say is, depending on what state you're in and depending on what your preferred sportsbook is, I mean, the menus can be widely varied in terms of what's actually out there and available. And for me, the challenge with the draft is, and this is going to sound like crying over spilled milk, I have a harder time when I lose a bet on the draft than I do when I actually lose an actual sporting event, knowing that there's an element of a game of chance. There are things that can go wrong there. Because if I lose a bet on the draft, I haven't done a good enough job going through my sources and my network to try and figure out what are certainties to trying to be able to place those particular wagers.
So, any certainties that...
Yeah, Caleb Williams, number 1.
Yeah, anything else?
Exactly. Caleb Williams, number 1, and I am increasingly confident as well that you can lay just about any price on Jaden Daniels being the number 2 pick as well, although we've seen that number since Monday go from right around minus $1.50 out to minus $6 where it currently sits. But after that, it's anybody's best guess in terms of what the Patriots do at 3. If they keep the draft position, if they elect to go with Marvin Harrison, if they pick up Drake May, I think that's where the draft truly starts, in my opinion.
So where do you start looking with the Patriots, for example? Let's use them as the example since you brought them up. You've got to figure out if they're comfortable enough to run one season with Jacoby Brissett, right? And if they are, then they go elite playmaker Marvin Harrison outside. They also need a left tackle. Well,
that's the whole thing. I mean, there's so many different directions they can go, and it's where if you get one domino to fall your way, you happen to have access to that kind of intel, it's not only going to inform you for one particular draft bet, it's going to potentially let you know who the 4th pick, 5th pick, 6th pick may be in subsequent order, and so one winner becomes 3 or 4 pretty quickly, whereas if you swing and miss on number 3, then all of a sudden you're looking to try and figure out who these other teams are going to take on their draft board. And what I think is interesting about it is a player like Marvin Harrison Jr. listed at 31-1 to be the 3rd overall pick in the draft. So you can make worse bets than taking a little bit of a flyer there amid speculation that they'll probably go in the direction of quarterback. But the other thing, when you're looking at a lot of these draft props that are out there, make sure you're reading the fine print. Is it the player to be selected 3rd? Is it the team to select a certain player? So there are a lot of different nuances there that you always want to be prepared for, so you don't go, oh, wait a second, the Patriots traded out, but your bet doesn't become a winner because somebody else moves up and takes the player that you had going there.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
That is a good point. Well, look, when you go receiver outside of Marvin, yeah, he did. I want quarterback. What do you think Michael Penix Jr.? You think he can move up? If I were to say he would be the 4th quarterback taken, what do you think my odds would be?
I think you get a pretty good price if you believe that Penix is going to come off the board before J.J. McCarthy. And I think, when you look at the quarterbacks and the skill sets that they all bring, there's a lot of discussion that Michael Penix may be the most NFL-ready quarterback of all these guys coming out. The age working in his favor, his ability to operate from a pro-style offense like we saw at Washington, and arguably potentially the best pocket passer that you're going to see from the group. Now, the biggest question becomes, does Penix have the same kind of ceiling as maybe a J.J. McCarthy, a Drake May once he corrects his footwork, or the athleticism that Caleb Williams brings? And I think the answer to that is no, but a team feels that, hey, they need a quarterback from day one, that it makes Michael Penix that much more interesting. And I think he becomes one of the more polarizing quarterbacks in the draft, even more so than Bo Nix, who I'm surprised is getting as much buzz as he is as a first rounder. I mean, Don watched what he did at Auburn, and to his credit, looked to be a little bit more polished when he was out there at Oregon running the offense for the Ducks the last couple seasons. But so many of Bo Nix's yards came on passes that were thrown behind the line of scrimmage. They were scheme-based, and when you look when they stepped up in class against Washington in the Pac-12 championship and some of the other games, just wasn't able to make the throws outside the hashes that you'd like to see from a first-round draft pick. So Penix becomes the guy, and I think, Slay, what's interesting is that odds makers haven't tipped their hand either. When you look at the over-under in his draft position listed at 32.5, shaded to the under now. We'll see where it goes between now and when the draft kicks off in earnest tomorrow night, about 26, 27 hours from now.
Remember last year when Don and I were talking about this during the break, when Will Levis, that Reddit thing came out? We asked you about that last year, where he was going to go number 2 overall.
I don't remember what you said about it, though.
I mean, we see these things all the time. I mean, how quickly we forget that the over-under for Will Levis's draft position last year was 7.5. And that's a number that didn't even move. And Will Levis is, of course, waiting until Friday for the Titans to trade up and make a commitment to him, giving him every opportunity to be their franchise quarterback. So quarterback is the one position, maybe more so than everything else, where a lot of these guys will get the hype. We know it's one of the more important positions in the NFL, but seemingly every year you get a guy that falls. And whether it was Malik Willis a couple of years ago, Will Levis last year, Matt Corral, the list goes on and on. So you see a lot of optimism, and some of the NFL insiders have said they could see as many as 6 quarterbacks going in the first round. I think that's a little bit of a leap of faith, but hey, look, I'm not a talent evaluator. I try and go off what the betting market tells me, trust my eyes a little bit for what I've seen on Saturdays, and make the most informed decisions I can, when I'm trying to get an edge on the betting market for something I don't feel is priced accordingly.
Todd Ferman with us. Bet the Board podcast is where you'll find him. Rate, review, subscribe. You'll find him all over media, actually. At Todd Ferman on X. So Titans and Joe Alt at 7, does that look like the gambling marriage?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it from what the odds are suggesting, although we've seen the price move a little bit. He was a heavier favorite to be picked at number 7 by the Titans right now. Kind of minus $1.60 out there. But I think that the main reason for that is the question, if the Titans feel that they have similar grades on a number of offensive linemen and a team is going to overwhelm them for that 7th overall pick, would they trade down and go, you know what, even if we don't get Joe Alt, there are a couple other guys that we can use as building blocks going forward. And that's what makes the draft so fascinating, because there are always a number of moving pieces for teams that are looking for players. And if J.J. McCarthy didn't go inside the top 5, would a team want to trade up? What do the Minnesota Vikings elect to do with multiple first-round picks? And there was even one rumor that was starting to circulate a little bit more heavily yesterday that I think has largely been discredited, but sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, that the Chargers would be willing to entertain an offer from the Minnesota Vikings if they wanted to put together a massive package for Justin Herbert. I don't think that happens, but it's a fun storyline to follow nonetheless.
Oh, him with Jefferson. Sheesh.
I mean, Jefferson hasn't signed his, it's well documented. He's waiting to see what they do at quarterback before he signs his deal.
Prop bet him all year.
Yeah, I mean, and those are the kind of things that you look for. I mean, we know that Coach Harbaugh has ties to J.J. McCarthy, has widely sung his praises as a member of the Michigan Wolverines, saying he's the best quarterback that they've had in that program's history. And you look at the Chargers, if they feel that Justin Herbert's contract becomes something that holds them back while they go through a rebuild, look, we've seen players get traded before. Again, not saying it's going to happen, but it's always interesting to try and see some of these moving pieces and how much of this is purely posturing and the bluffing game going on from general managers to try and maximize what teams are willing to do if they want to trade up, knowing that, hey, look, our roster is far from being complete. Moving one piece and picking up additional draft capital will go a long way.
Todd, Father, I know you talked about how Vegas is when March Madness is coming out there and things of that nature. How is it with the draft? You guys flooded during the draft as well?
Not really. The one interesting caveat out here, Slay, if you're looking to bet the draft, is all of these draft props will come off the board 24 hours before the draft actually starts. So it's a unique little nuance in terms of the Nevada Gaming Control Board, because they didn't want to subject some of the sports books to the level of volatility we see, because typically on draft day, you'll see some of these numbers show wild fluctuations, and they felt, 24 hours was a long enough window where if somebody was going to bet this event, that was enough. It created a lot more buzz and an uproar, so to speak, a couple of years ago when the draft was here in town. And I don't think a lot of people that were visiting understood that they weren't able to try and bet, 25 to 30 minutes before the TV production that is the draft took place. And, it's all of those little unique wrinkles that change things. But this is one of the events on the sporting calendar that most odds makers have told me is the single greatest headache for them to try and be able to book accordingly.
Cousin Roger on YouTube. Hey, Mayor, please ask Todd who is this year's Puka Nakua.
I think when you go through it and look, I won't necessarily say from a wide receiver standpoint, but there is a tight end that has gained a lot of traction to be the number 2 guy coming off the board after Brock Bowers, that some of the scouts are very high on, and Tanner McLaughlin, a player out of Arizona. His price to be the second tight end off the board was upwards of 100 to 1. That number has come crashing down in that 7.5 range. So you're seeing a little bit of momentum there. And when you look through this draft and try and figure out who some of these other difference makers are, I think it's interesting because we know the Xavier Worthies, the A.D. Mitchells, the Ladd McConkeys of the world. All these players, if you could tell me who you were 100% certain was going to be the best of that collective grouping, would make you significantly smarter than me and a lot of the GMs that are out there. So when you look for some of these late day steals that are, in the mix, I think running back will be a position that flies under the radar. And I think a player like Braylon Allen out of Wisconsin may have an opportunity to earn some reps given what he showed a little bit as a pass catcher. But you look at his over-under for draft position, outside the top 100, and may not be a day one guy, but I think an interesting name nonetheless.
Over-under number of catches for Treylon Burks, Tennessee Titans wide receiver.
Oh.
Can you guys tell me the over-under number of games that Treylon Burks will actually dress for and be healthy? Makes it a little bit easier to handicap that number. But, if you figure 12. For these wide receivers, you figure for some of these wide receivers,
why are you laughing?
You can't.
Why are you snickling in for?
Look, because until I see Treylon Burks play 17 games, I can't work under that assumption, Slay, and that's why a lot of these skill position guys, you often find a lot more value trying to go under. So while I haven't run full numbers to try and look at where I think Burks can be, if you back into some of the math and you assume that, hey, maybe he plays 15 games, he can give you 3 catches a game. I'd set the over/under in that 50.5, 51 range potentially.
Hey, so listen,
so Slay's all in on Treylon Burks.
You say I never give you anything, so I'm giving you some right now.
This will be good. Go ahead, Slay.
Yeah, get your pen and pad out. I'm telling you right now. Call Payne, let everybody know. I'm moving earth on this one. 45 to 50 receptions, 750 between 735 750 yards.
Well, Todd's ahead of your 45 to 50.
So I'm being a little bit more aggressive, which tells me if you're only saying 45 to 50, I need to drop my number into the high 30s. Then is what you're telling me there.
That's what I'm telling you. I got inside information.
Look, if you got inside information, you can tell me what players are going to stay healthy all season long, Slay. Your crystal ball is spitting out results a hell of a lot better than what Payne and I are working with on a week in, week out basis.
He literally is wearing Treylon Burks' jersey every day.
That's right.
Which Treylon Burks jersey are you wearing? Are you wearing the home blues? Are you wearing the Oilers throwbacks? Are you wearing the whites? Are you wearing alternates? Are you at least mixing it up, Slay?
No, it's classic blue all the way through for a classic player.
He's going to be a classic if he doesn't do something this
So we consistently get messages from people going, what a weird hill to die on, Slay.
Yeah. Look, Slay picks and chooses his battles, and so, I'd want to have him in the foxhole with me, but the bottom line is this, Slay. We'll see what Treylon Burks can produce, and, maybe we can all be surprised if he's able to go out there, put up 50-plus receptions, to your point, 750 yards, and add a handful of touchdowns as well. So we'll see exactly what he can add in terms of explosive big play potential. But we know that SEC bloodline runs deep, and so apparently Tennessee guys willing to go to bat for Arkansas folks whenever they're given the opportunity.
I won't be wrong on this, Father. I'm telling you, go and put this one in the bank. I'm telling you.
All right.
I'll start to look for those prop numbers when they become widely available on individual players, and we'll see exactly where the betting market opens up.
How much did the Preds win in Game 2 change what that series looks like?
It changes it quite a bit, along with the injury to Thatcher Demko. When you look at the Preds, we saw them right around plus $1.40 for Game 2 when that number opened. They ended up closing closer to that plus 105 range once that announcement was made official. They went from being plus 220 underdogs after losing Game 1 in the series to now evening things up, taking home ice advantage back, where the Preds are right around to pick 'em in the series. Now, I also don't want people to get caught scoreboard watching. If they didn't watch that game in Vancouver and just woke up and saw the score, it was anything but a 4-1 scoreline, knowing how many block shots you saw from the Predators, where they broke a franchise record in that department. The shot attempts were extremely lopsided, and who knows how much differently that game goes if Beauvillier doesn't get the early tip where Casey DeSmith is going the wrong way. So the Preds can't be lulled into a false sense of security. You're going to get Vancouver's best effort in the first 20 minutes, and the one thing we've seen from both of these teams and how they want to play with defensive posture, I'm not sure coming back in these games will be as easy. I think the Preds were a little bit flat in that third period, having that 6-day layoff, and so they're going to have to weather the storm, in my opinion, from Vancouver the first 10 minutes, where normally you think the home team would come out playing on their front foot, because the Canucks are going to feel they let a glorious opportunity slip through their fingers where they were significantly better than the score suggested in Game 2.
What was it, 32 block shots? You played the sport. You're a hockey guy. Like, how impressive was that, watching the Preds go after the puck?
The willingness of everybody on that Preds roster to throw themselves in harm's way and block that many shots was incredible. You make Juice's job that much easier between the pipes. And I think that's one of the interesting things that Quinn Hughes said in the wake of their Game 1 win, that their scouting report on UC Saros was to try and get bodies in front, because he ranked 49th out of 54 qualifying goalies in terms of save percentage when he was screened. And you can understand why. He's not the biggest fella in between the pipes, and it's a little bit tougher when you have your vision obstructed. Yeah. But it's rare when you talk about your top 4 defensemen producing, 16 combined blocks between Carrier, Yossi, Jeremy Lozana, and Ryan McDonough. We'll see if they're able to replicate that, but you got it from the forward grouping as well, and it's what you want to see this time of year, where everybody buys in. I just don't think it's advisable for the Preds to wait to get their first shot on goal until the opposing team pulls their goalie, like they did to get that fourth goal and create a little bit of separation yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, Todd Father, since you're a hockey guy, let me go on and give you something else. Dallas Stars tonight, they're going to win money line. Edmonton Oilers beating the LA Kings money line. But this is the question I got for you. Do I go with the over in this Edmonton Oilers and LA Kings game?
Well, I think Edmonton wants to turn this into a high-event game for sure. I mean, Edmonton has a lot more scoring power than the Kings do, and if they're going to force LA to play from behind, that gets them right where they want them. I mean, the Kings' best recipe to stay in this series is turn these into a lot of slugfest, make them 3-2 games. So it'll be interesting. LA over the first 10 minutes, I think you'll get an opening salvo from them. They're clearly going to make a better effort and make some lineup tweaks to try and slow down Connor McDavid, who tallied 5 assists. But I think the Kings will have something in store. So for me, I lean under, and I lean pretty heavily towards LA with that price in that plus 160 range. Haven't yet made it on my betting card as of now, but I think there's a correlation between the dog and under. But wait, this total looks like it's starting to tick up as we're talking about the game now.
So that's what happens. We have an effect on that thing.
It's on my betting card.
So you are going completely opposite of Slay in that game.
Look, for me in the NHL playoffs, and it's a little bit more difficult for casual bettors who are kind of looking at it. You can't just, and this is going to sound counterintuitive, but I'll say it anyways. You can't just bet the team that you think is going to win in the NHL playoffs. Because the reason I say that, when you look at the money line here, Edmonton can get a split in their 2 home games, and you're still down money if you bet the Oilers in each of those. So I bet the Kings in Game 1 was 100% on the wrong side, but took a relatively similar approach with the Preds. Bet them in Game 1, they lose. Win Game 2, they go back home 1-1. But when you're able to take good prices there, it's trying to grind out a little bit of profit here and there. So, like I said, I haven't gotten to the Kings yet. I do think Dallas wins, but I also don't think you're stealing anything, laying $1.60 to $1.65 with a Stars team who's been dominated by the Knights in 4 meetings this year, and including the Western Conference Finals last year, where Vegas dispatched them in 6 games.
All I needed, Todd Father.
There
Thank
he
you.
is.
I'll give you a text tonight.
Todd Ferman, at Todd Ferman on X. You can hit him up there. Thank you, Todd.
Always a pleasure, guys. Enjoy the draft tomorrow.
We'll win tonight, Todd.
And we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, John, and you, if you want in. 615-737-1045.
What up, fellas? You been feeling tired and grumpy? I got something for you. Low T Center is where you need to go. It's not your typical doctor's office. You don't even have to go in. They have affordable and convenient treatment options, including physician-monitored self-inject treatments. That's right. 4, established patients that ship directly to your home each month, so there's no need to drive to the center for weekly visits. Right now, Low T Center is only $25 to get your T levels tested. It makes sense, man. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
3HL 104.5 The Zone, NFL Draft Eve. We will be broadcasting live tomorrow from Nissan Stadium. Going to have a cool setup. Rhett Bryan will join us for the 3 to 4 o'clock hour. We will talk with Greg Cosell and get his last take on some of these potential picks at number 7.
Go on.
Including Joe Alt, who he does not love his tape. Well documented. Mm-hmm. He's the flyer out there, Greg Cosell. But he'll tell you why. And Big Savagery, Ramon Foster.
Big Savage. Straight from the draft.
How about Big Savage in the meeting with the CEO today? He was asked 4 questions.
Yeah. I thought he was limited.
That's the NFLPA guy.
Limited.
Yeah, that's all
it is.
Mm-hmm. His NFLPA mode came out.
Me and Slay and Babsy were sitting in the same row, and Big Savage was in the back standing up because they had just gotten off the air. And I hear his voice start asking questions. I was looking at Slay. I was like, Savage.
Mm-hmm. My boy.
Mary Burner got to deal with Savage today.
What up, Mary?
That's the CEO of Cumulus, the entire radio group. What up, Mary? I wish you would have started the meeting today with that.
I know, I should have. I didn't want to draw any attention to myself. I like to, stay behind the curtains there.
We kept talking.
You don't want to piss off the CEO.
Kept talking risk reward.
Yeah. As I left this morning, Mr. Babs was like, listen, I need you to come home with a job, okay?
Please. Usually he contacts me and Slay when he's worried about something like that.
Yeah.
Like when you went in front of the Brentwood City Commission or whatever, we got texts about that.
Yeah, that went well.
Dawn kept turning around and looking at everybody. I kept looking at her going, do it, say it.
Oh, I thought you were telling me no.
No, I was saying, say it. Come on.
Say it. All right, Sam Kinnison. We also got a text from Travis when we went to Vegas saying, hey, man, keep her out of the damn casino late at night.
That is accurate.
And we did.
Follow through.
Lady,
we were a bunch of old people.
go to your room.
Listen, we would go to dinner. Like that Benihana night, dude, we were so stuffed.
That was a lot of food.
That was the night that Babs did want to go out. And that's when you gave her the speech. Lady,
Yeah.
go to your room.
You made me go to my room. I'm like, there's a casino like 2 seconds away.
The crazy thing is, though, when May Babs go to her room, I was locked out of my room.
Yeah.
I had to sit there in the hallway and wait.
You were locked out of your room? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen this happen. They had to come change the control, the door panel. Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
He sent me a picture and it's him sitting in the hall. I'm like, you made me go to my room and you're sitting in the hall.
We really messed him up too because Babsy and I swapped rooms. Like when we checked in and she checked into her room, I checked into my room, and you were like, man, that's a high floor. I don't really like high floors. And I go, I do. And so we just swapped keys. So then we ordered
I was like,
room
I don't want to
service.
be on 30. Ugh.
Yeah, it was fun up there. You could see it snowing.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah.
In Vegas. But yeah, that was all confusing to a lot of people. Especially like
when you try to go get a new key because your key wasn't working.
The keys don't work there sometimes. Like every day they just swap them out. I was like, I'm actually not in 1612. I'm in 3028. Is your name Don Davenport? No.
It's actually not.
We got this covered. All right, so when we went to break, we had 2 guys on hold, both named John. So both of y'all are going to start talking when I go to you. And so,
yeah.
So the guy that I don't go to, that John, you'll be next. Okay. So John wants to talk about the end of the draft on line 1. John, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
It's you. Oh, you were going to try and be quiet and act like it wasn't him.
No.
Hey, John.
I was going to say, what do they like? Oh, what do they like? Oh.
What do they like? Okay.
Oh, the song. Who does it? They like? Oh, the song. Okay. My bad.
No, you cool.
We'll let that go. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the end of the draft. We talked about this the beginning of the draft for like all week long. So my thing is, what do we got? Who are they picking out of the bunch at the end of the draft? Because who do we need that's not a real necessity? My pick, I'm going to pick. I'm a homer. Hell, let's just try Joe Milton as our last pick.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I want to see Joe Milton out there throwing piss missiles into Lake Amulet.
Well, I was want to hear what y'all's thought was about the end of the draft.
All right, thanks. I mean, the needs are pretty simple, I think. Left tackle, inside linebacker, safety, defensive line, cornerback, tight end, wide receiver. Right?
The list is long.
I don't know, like, specifically who's going to be there at 7, in round 7.
Right, because it's so deep.
Right. So we'll have to reevaluate this thing on Friday and see what happens on day 1. But pay attention to Titans Radio. It's interesting. I was having a conversation with some more around the league people in the know. And I said, you know what? People are telling me that safety and inside linebacker are becoming like the new depreciated running back position. And so I was told, watch how many inside linebackers and safeties go on Thursday and Friday. Maybe none. So
that's going to be fascinating.
It is. And so that might lead you to another round of free agency, right? Mm-hmm. All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up. The other John in Lebanon and Alexander and Larry all coming up next. If you want in, 615-737-1045. We got a couple of questions for you. Who do you think they take? Who do you want them to take? Those may be two different answers. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Everyone's house is different, of course, but they are the same in one way. All of us have the places where the Wi-Fi just doesn't work as well. It just won't go. For you, maybe it's the attic, maybe it's the playroom. For others, sometimes it's your basement. Well, if you had wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity, you could worry less about those dead spots. Finally, maybe not have them with wall-to-wall Wi-Fi from Xfinity. You get fast speeds throughout your home, reliable connection in every single room, and power for all of your devices, even when everyone in the house, from the attic to the basement, is online. That is wall-to-wall Wi-Fi only with Xfinity. It works out in our backyard area, too, thanks to wall-to-wall Wi-Fi with Xfinity. New customers, by the way, learn how you can save $1,000 over T-Mobile in your first year with Connect Internet and Xfinity Mobile. Go ahead and make the switch today. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet is required. Compares promotional pricing for Xfinity Connect Internet and 2 Unlimited Plus mobile lines versus T-Mobile Home Internet and 2 Magenta plan lines. Equipment not included after promo. Regular rates do apply.
Good evening from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Joe Hunk. Something to pay attention to as we head into the draft tomorrow night. There's some news coming out of Cincinnati. First, Trey Hendrickson, the defensive end, announced that he has requested a trade from the Bengals. That is according to Adam Schefter. He started all 17 games last season and ended the season with 17 and a half sacks as well as 25 quarterback hits. And then immediately following that, East Tennessee native T. Higgins said that he has requested a trade from the Bengals as well because after the franchise tag was given to him, there have been no other contract talks with the team, and there hasn't been for over a year. Something to pay attention to as we head into tomorrow night. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Happy Hump Day, right, Silly Dog?
Hump day.
Babsy, days like this make your hair blonder.
Yeah, they do. That's a good call. By the way, I'm giving away Fred's tickets to the game on Sunday, Game 4, coming up in not this segment, but the next segment. So make sure you are tuned in, along with Mike Keith.
What a performance by the Predators last night. Just the selflessness of the players. I mean, every single man on the ice was diving in front of pucks, man. It was like in the 18 when they dive on like a grenade or something.
Giving up their body.
Yeah.
For the betterment of the team.
And it's not like those pucks are like soft.
No, heck no.
And it's not like they're not coming at like 100 miles an hour.
That probably takes you out. I don't know how they see it.
So, club record, right? 32, was it 32 block shots? And then they had 30-plus missed shots that just missed the net because so many people were diving in front of pucks, man.
That's real.
Now, the other problem with that, the puck was in the Vancouver zone a lot.
Yeah. Well, as long as it don't go in, y'all, we'll live with it. We'll be just fine.
Can you imagine if I was like Coach Burnett or something, and then you're over in the corner?
I'm like a water boy. You giving a hell of a speech up there. Hey, well, at the end of it, it didn't go in.
As long as it don't go in, we're all right.
Job, fella.
I'll be like, thanks, Slay. Go get him.
Hey, great effort, guys. Let's go.
I mean, obviously the big problem is Vancouver not having their goaltender. So that was an issue. But freaking Philip Forsberg's goal on the I mean, the stick handling in his hands there, and you're just going to give that man that much space in front of the goalie? Like, whew. That was great. NFL draft coming up tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting live from Nissan Stadium. Ron Slay will be there in his Traylon Burks jersey.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, right? I'm in the building.
Absolutely.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I was thinking about switching it up today and wearing like my Bayard jersey, throwback, King Henry jersey, throwback. But I say, you know
Dang,
what?
you just bought all these jerseys.
All throwbacks. These are all throwbacks.
Every time you buy a jersey, there's an alert that goes off in the facility.
I got retro jerseys. That's what I got. They never told me when I was buying it they were going to be retro. But
you know the only jersey I ever bought?
What?
And I grew up an Oilers fan. The only jersey I ever bought myself, Titans jersey, was Randall Godfrey.
That is so random.
I used to love Randall Godfrey. Flying up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Blaine tells the best story about that. He said Lorenzo Neal called him. They were getting ready to play Cincinnati, and Lorenzo Neal called Blaine and said, "Hey, man, I keep seeing Randall just flying through the hole there without even really looking as fast as he can. I'm going to tell you, Blaine, tell that man not to do that because I will have to put him down."
That's a force.
And so Blaine told him, like, "Hey, man, Randall, head on a swivel when you go through there, bro." And Blaine said, I mean, first quarter, maybe even the first possession. Run play. Randall Godfrey goes flying in the hole. Lorenzo Neal at fullback meets him and drops him.
Stone cold.
And Blaine
Told you.
Blaine said, "Hey man, I told you. What are you doing?" And Randall looked up at him and said, "Did that look as bad as it felt?" Blaine's like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that happened.
So if I miss some of that story, hit man, it's not intentional. But yeah, Randall Godfrey. Well, at Georgia, he was a player.
He was a dog, yeah.
So what jersey should I buy now? If I'm going to buy one, what
I
should
still
I
got
buy?
the big. I got the white Big Jeff.
Oh, yeah, you're good there.
Mm-hmm. And, what? Good here too. What do you mean?
She did kind of mean something behind that, didn't she?
Slay wearing
Sorry.
that jersey into the
I wasn't even
stadium.
on
Maybe the
purpose.
last time it goes into the stadium.
No, it will not, Joe.
honk.
Honk.
I want to get an Oilers jersey. Now they can wear 3 helmets. Not
Yeah.
once. That would be, kind of weird.
What did you think about the
Tannehill needed 3
Texans'
last year.
new uni release? I thought they were hideous.
That they're going after the Oilers thing?
Just
I
in
think it's
general, I
stupid.
thought they were all hideous.
That's not the franchise.
Well, the only blue, baby blue they used was on the weird H. Their new logo, weird H on the helmet.
Listen,
trying.
people
and
in
then,
H-Town,
like baby blue gloves or something, which
number one,
it
people
doesn't
in
work.
People in Texas don't give a crap what you think about what they're doing, but they also do weird things
Yeah.
because they really don't give a crap about what they're doing.
No, that's his own world.
It's a hell of an analysis of Texas.
I live there, man. It's
Their own world.
I was born there.
They seriously view that state like they view themselves as living in a different country. Basically,
it.
like they're proud Americans. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
No, they're proud Texans.
But
yeah,
they're
proud
Texans.
Texans. Yeah.
God bless Texas.
They stand tall with that, without question.
The other thing I remember about Houston, I was going into the 3rd grade, and I remember my mom and my grandmother somehow were in the car and driving. One of them was driving, and they kept going around. There's a road that goes around the city, kind of like here with I don't know. I mean, you can go around the city. It's different interstates, but anyway, there it's the same one. And we kept going around the city. I remember this clearly. And my grandmother kept yelling, "Hell's bells." And my mom would ask, "What?" And she said, "The Astrodome is on the wrong side." And so we went around the city like 4 times. I'm like, how can y'all not figure out, get off and go the other way if you put it on the right side? And the other thing I remember when you go to Houston, and this is a true story, and you can ask people from there now. You know these big roaches that we have here sometimes? Mm-hmm. They fly down there.
Yeah.
They fly here too.
They
sure
do?
will.
Yeah.
The flying roaches have migrated?
Those
Yeah.
are the worst.
Like
They'll
the
be out there
armadillos?
Yeah.
At night sometime.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, just wait for this locust revolution.
Oh,
What
this
about that?
cicada thing is going to be an absolute
You know what?
Shiano show.
I got an announcement for that too. Whenever it happens, I guess right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm already on Amazon searching. You know what I'm getting me?
What? For the cicada revolution?
Yes. You know what I'm getting?
What?
Full-length beast suit.
Oh, geez. Please, I want to see
That
this.
is so dumb.
No, it's not dumb. I can walk around, and I got the kind I'm getting it.
With
the kind that unzip, and I can let the face down,
Oh, my gosh.
and then I can close it back up and zip it back
So
up.
you could deal with like nuclear waste and cicadas all at the same time.
And bees.
We might need it for the apocalypse anyway.
Anytime y'all need me, y'all, like just like when ice storms and stuff come on, you like Babs don't like to come out of the neighborhood because of ice. We'll come up and get you. Babs, you don't want to go to your mailbox? Call me. I'll come over there and get it. I'll come right get your little mail for you.
You could get mail for people.
Yeah, just put Patton up. I seen him how he's running now.
Is it going to have a number
He's back
16
moving a
on
little
this
bit.
thing?
Back pain.
Yeah, I'll draw it on there. On the side of the helmet part.
All right, draft coming up tomorrow. Who do you think the Titans take? Who do you want them to take? John in Lebanon. John, what's up, man?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up,
Good.
man?
John?
Man, I have been on hold for so long. Guess how long?
Babsy doesn't like these phone calls.
I was gonna say, John.
No,
I think you're the same John
I'm
that
not
always call and say
complaining.
this too.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
Okay. How long was it?
16 minutes.
Okay. I watched a jet up in the air until it went out of sight and I could not see it anymore. Have you ever done that?
That's like 10 seconds, isn't it?
It was
Yeah,
it a
that's
C-
like nothing.
was it a
it was-
C-130? I mean, like
A jet,
No, it
like
was
it was a jet up in the air, and it just faded out into the abyss. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man.
Hey, that is way shorter than what you've actually been on
but
hold.
anyway,
So.
no,
Hey, Babs is going to come at you, John, if you don't get into it.
All this time, I had time to get me another beer. Y'all know I play PlayStation and drink my beer and listen to y'all.
I remember.
Okay,
I remember. John.
Yeah. And I also had time to see The Man About the Dog. I don't know if any of y'all know what that means, but
Yeah,
about the
Slay
horse.
says shake it down.
Yeah.
right. Anyway,
Titans draft.
I just
Hit it, John.
But anyway, I
told you.
love y'all. I really love drinking my beer in the afternoon, playing PlayStation, and listening to y'all. But as far as the Titans, I think they're going to be fine on the offensive line because you got a great coach. He's going to know how to get these guys ready.
So without drafting an offensive lineman, you're good with where they are right now?
I'm not saying that. No, I just think this guy really knows what he's doing. And with the right guidance, they're going to be a lot better. I'm not saying they're going to be great, but they're going to be better than they were. And
What game are you playing on PlayStation, John?
Hey, it's a classic. It's 2014 NCAA college football.
Hey.
All right.
All right.
I'm down. I'm down.
One.
Okay.
The last one.
Yeah.
You've only got
I'm
like
waiting
2
for
more
the new one.
months
I'm
till the
gonna
new
have
one
to-
comes out.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get me a PlayStation 5. I got a PlayStation 3. So,
Time to upgrade,
but
John.
anyway,
You're like Babs and her iPhones. All right. Thanks, John. Got to run, buddy.
Thank you, brother.
I still have a 13.
Hey, man.
No, 12.
You have a 12.
I wish y'all somehow could hear me and honk. Well, basically, honk.
John is really lucky I didn't just hang up on him on that one.
I'm really surprised at Babs. Me and Slave had turned off our mics and we were kind of laughing around about some stuff. And I'm like, listen, look at Babs like trying to have a real conversation over here.
Hey, man. Good job, Babsy.
John.
What did Hunk say?
Come on, John.
We're talking about the bird that he watched fly far away while he was waiting.
Forrest Gump.
Do y'all know how fast a jet is?
That's
That's
what's
what
funny
got
about
me.
it.
Like, I'm like,
That's why I was like, is it a C-130? Those things just kind of, I mean.
Yeah, but they can move.
They mean
Fat
it.
Albert, I rode in Fat Albert, man. Fat Albert can do some rolls now.
Wait, please just go to break.
You know, Fat Albert
yeah,
is
the red
the
sweater.
Navy's.
Hey.
No, that's the
I'm like-
Navy's C-130.
Oh, okay.
fools.
Yeah.
Yes, that sweater is pretty big, Babs. I'm sure. You put it on, you can roll in it.
And it doesn't go fast.
Listen, if you're calling in to talk draft, you better hit it.
I mean,
Hit it and get out of here.
we are punch drunk with this draft coming up tomorrow. Thank God. All right.
I'm giving away Preds tickets next.
All right.
Oh,
Stay
yeah.
tuned.
What's happening, good people? Listen, tonight, when the power goes out, you can still be
Like it just did.
secure and on the grid.
Boy, that's appropriate.
Cove Generators will never let you down. I can guarantee that, man. So say goodbye to power outages. You have I'm talking about the expert in generators when you got Generator Dave and the team with Cove Generators, Babsy.
That's right. And right now, if you get a Generac home standby generator from Cove Generators, you also get a free new 7-year warranty with the purchase of said Generac home standby generator. It's only through May 12th, too, so you only have, a couple weeks left to do it. $735 value through May 12th. And then on top of it, Slay, we get to get in on the gift giving, right?
Right, absolutely. Get in on the gift giving. All you got to do is mention 3HL, Babsy, Slay, whatever you do, you get $500 more. Why wouldn't you want that? All you got to do is give the people a call. 931-559-3311. That's the CoveGenerators.com. 931-559-3311.
CoveGenerators.com. There you go. Stay connected through it all.
3HL 104.5, The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. NFL Draft obviously begins tomorrow, round number 1. Catch all the Titans radio action right here on 104.5 The Zone. We will be broadcasting 3HL live from Nissan Stadium tomorrow. Rhett Bryan will join us from 3 until 4 o'clock. Greg Cosell at 4:20. Big Savagery, Ramon Foster at 5:20. And then Titans radio takes over at 6. Mike Keith, voice of the Titans, joins us now. Michael Keith, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
How excited do you get for draft coverage as a broadcaster?
Like crazy.
Yeah.
like way too excited to be this age. But I really do. I enjoy it that much. Everybody has been coming around and said, boy, you got to push through these next couple days. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we don't look at it like that either.
I could literally not sleep. It's like exams were in high school or college, only really good, and you don't want them to end. I give you this. Think about if they did college football recruiting over one weekend.
See, that's what
you could only commit and sign in one weekend.
Wow, yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
I mean, maybe you could take visits other times, but I mean that sounds nuts, right? But
yeah. Well, and I know you're a big I know years ago, we've known each other 30 years, but that you were so into high school recruiting. Is it that part of your brain that makes you love the NFL draft like that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It scratches that particular itch in a way that I miss it. I didn't miss it the first year I didn't do it because I was on the end of it where we did all the phone calls and all the crazy stuff and stayed up all night and drove over to Heath Schuler's hometown in the snow.
Bryson City, North Carolina, the road that doesn't leave.
Yeah. So it's still there, and I think if you're kind of crazy passionate about this, I think that's just kind of how you are, and I'd like to think I'd get to a point where I would change, but I just don't. I think it's too late. I don't think it's going to happen.
Ramon, before we get into specifics, Ramon made a good point on our show the other day. He said, you know what, when it comes to we all love talking about all these guys and it's so much fun and it's entertaining to us and all those things and hopefully the people listening. But when all is said and done with this crop of players, at 7, you're going to come away, when the Titans announce their pick, you're going to come away and go, all right, I love this dude. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody generally, you don't see the GM come out and go, yeah, this is just not great.
Don't be excited.
I mean, it would be so great. Yeah, there were 5 other guys we really wanted. I mean, Floyd Reese had a year like that one year, and I'm not going to say who the pick was, but he did have one year like that where he thought he was getting somebody else, and his guy got picked one before us, and he just couldn't believe it, and but he didn't say that in the hall. However, I said, "Hey, congratulations." He's like, "Yeah, sure."
Well, what I meant by that was Joe Alt guy that's all in on Joe Alt. If they end up with Malik Neighbors, you're gonna be like, "Okay, I can't wait to see this guy run routes."
Sure. I mean, I just hope we're not picking this high again for a long time. But the big thing you've got here is you've got to get a player who helps define your foundation for what you hope is going to be another great run. I mean, listen, we had 6 straight winning seasons, and people at the time that it happened, they're like, oh, okay, 6 straight winning. But it's like, that's pretty good. Now, what you want to do in there is you want to win a couple of Super Bowls, or 3 Super Bowls in that period of time. But you can't do that unless you're in it. And so you want to be in that run of success because one of those years you're going to find a way to get in it. And the minute it'd be like Kansas City this year was 11-6. I mean, they lost 6 games.
Right.
And then, they're Super Bowl champions again.
Yeah.
And So you want to get in that mix, and that's where it all starts, and that's what we're trying to build back to right now. It's not just. I mean, I'd like to build a team that's 15-2 or 16-1, but that's unrealistic. You're trying to build the team to be in the middle of everything, because this is the hardest league in the world to win a championship. The hardest.
One more from me real quick. So I would go any of the 3 wide receivers at 7 over anybody, including Odunze. And your friend and ours, Mike Detillier, was on with us last week, and he said, and I'm not going to do his voice because I can't do a Cajun accent, but he said in a very a creative way, he said, look, I've been covering LSU for a long, long time. He said, Malik Neighbors is Jamar Chase. And I was like, then you start reading, and like the information, when you talk to people around the NFL, like the information doesn't really change, but like, you know, you start reading different things. Start reading a lot about Malik Neighbors maybe being the best guy. What do you think about him?
Okay, so can I do something like really geeky here for you?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so my draft preparation starts when Bruce Feldman puts out his freaks list. Mm-hmm. And that comes out in August. Mm-hmm. And his freaks list is crazy. He had something about Malik Neighbors that absolutely blew me away. Let me read this to you. This is August the 15th, 2023. Neighbors measured a 1.01 reactive strength index modified. Now, here's what that means. Essentially, Neighbors' ability to complete his max vertical jump at a very fast rate, and he had a vertical leap of 42. That means he can reach that feat faster than anyone on the team. Neighbors also produced 2,700 watts peak power on the power clean, which is otherworldly for a skill player. Now, that's sports science stuff. It doesn't mean anything about scoring touchdowns. Oh, yeah, but he's also the all-time receiving leader in LSU history. And he is so
That's saying something.
Well, and the numbers, those kind of numbers from Bruce Feldman's piece back up what Coach Mack likes to talk about with the explosion. The fact that he has the 42-inch vertical, and he has the 10-9 broad jump, and he has the 4.35. He's not just fast. He's powerful and fast. And, oh, by the way, he gets to fast and powerful phenomenally quickly. So, I mean, it's like an explosion when he starts off, when he starts down the field with the ball, or when he's running by a player. Malik Neighbors there's nobody like him in this draft, and yet he's probably the second best receiver.
Crazy.
Right. I love it when you get nerdy with us like that. Feldman's that way too. He's such an interesting guy.
I love that guy. I don't know him. I love him. Shout out Bruce Feldman. Major props.
Manhattan Beach, California.
One of the guys that makes me subscribe to The Athletic. I love The Athletic, but he got me started there because I knew him. And, you know, I print that list off and I keep it, and it's amazing how many prospects. He does 100 of them. And some of them are underclassmen, and, you know, they're just freshmen or sophomores, whatever. And the majority of the top prospects in this draft, I would say, are somewhere on that list.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison's on that list. And so, what you know, I mean, you get it.
Mike Keefe, man, you probably ain't never heard this before, but boy, you sure got away with words and getting your point across.
Words are his business.
I'm sitting here like, you know, I've been all out on that, all out on Malik Neighbors. I've been Joe Alt, any offensive lineman, any offensive tackle. Yeah, but what you just delivered, you almost got me over there. Like if a Malik Neighbors boat was riding by the Joe Alt boat, I may try, if it was nighttime and it was dark, may try to jump over on the Malik Neighbors boat just to see what's going on over there because of what you just did. I'm just saying.
So Marvin Harrison is this generational guy who has this Kobe Bryant quality for how he wants to be great, and he's bigger, and he's a great route runner, and, I mean, he's put up the number, and he can fly. Malik's different. I mean, he's even a different LSU receiver, which is, I mean, if they've put out receivers in the last 10 years that you've been like, seriously? I mean, even their bad ones are good ones. Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't have bad ones, but you know what I mean. Yeah. They've just put out some dudes, and they continue to do it. And Neighbors, Brian Thomas is a really good.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's what I love.
Now he's a 9-route guy. He's going down the field vertically, but man,
he's a very different sort of receiver, kind of a long strider, but as Coach Mack likes to say, the combat catcher type guy. Really high character guy too. You're not gonna have to worry about this dude. You know, he can play. I mean, he can really play, and I think he probably is a first-round pick as well. Now, where, I don't have any idea.
So let's say Alt's not there, Harrison Jr.'s not there, Malik Neighbors isn't there at 7. The Titans come up
We're
to
going
pick.
off the air. We're not doing the broadcast.
No, negative. Goes over.
Say good night, everybody.
See ya. But who else? I guess because that's been the talk on this show, on all the shows, right? Who else would you? I mean, there's a long list of who you'd be happy with there, but kind of falling down the next guys that could still be there at 7.
Is Latham there in your scenario?
Yes.
You like Latham?
Okay.
Yep.
I like Latham a lot.
Yeah.
And
I like Latham a lot.
He can move to the left side, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a guy who could certainly do that, and Bill Callahan. He's pretty good at that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah. We've coined him as offensive line Jesus, Mike, so.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine. Let's think about it for a second, though. Okay, what if Latham is a right tackle? Mm-hmm. But what if he's the best right tackle in ball in short order? What if he is just the best?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can figure other things out. People continue to talk in today's world about left tackle like this is 1998. You know? I mean, the ball comes out more quickly. This is not Troy Aikman taking 7-step drops all the time. If you ended up with a guy, if Latham is the best right tackle in the NFL or ends up being a superstar, a Pro Bowler, there are ways you can fix things to make sure that you can be okay on the other side. You can help, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, just give me good players and, you know, you're going to be okay. And he's going to be a really good player for somebody, whether he plays left or right.
Good point. Well, you know, Ramon Foster on these airwaves always says you need 3 and you can make it work.
Right. I mean, that's 100% correct. Now, I mean, the beauty of Joe Alt is, think about this. If you got Joe Alt, then you've got Peter Skoronski next to him, and then you've got Cushenberry at center. That's pretty good 3 right there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm a big Alt guy. The only thing I have been bothered with in some of the discussion of Alt is, well, he's safe. It's like, he's good. He's really. If the Titans get him, be thrilled, Titans fans.
Yeah.
See, the way people describe him to me sounds a lot like what we heard about Taylor Lewan when he was coming out. Athletic, former tight end.
Well, remember that, though. I mean, you and I were there for that, and Dawn was there for that. Everybody hated that pick.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm just talking about the player being described.
What are you doing? I don't think he's the same kind of player as Taylor.
Okay.
I think Taylor's probably more athletic. This guy's bigger. This guy is he's 6'8" and a half, and he's 320. He doesn't look 320. I've seen him in person, and it's impressive. I mean, it's like you walk by him in the hall and you go, whoa. I mean, it's impressive. So he looks. I mean, that's how Taylor is too. I mean, he's an impressive looking guy. This guy's bigger. I don't think he moves quite as well as Taylor, but he can bend. He can move his feet. He does have athleticism. And overall, I think the fact that he just turned 21 on February 28th gives you a lot of excitement because he's got room to improve. Latham is just big and nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, he's big and thick and nasty. I mean, I was just looking at his numbers just a second ago before I came on with you guys. 6'5.6", meaning he's over 6'5" and a half, 342 pounds. He has an 11-inch hand, a 35-inch arm, and an 84.3-inch wingspan. Now, what I know about that is if he gets his mitts on you, first of all, you got to try to get around him. Good luck. And then if he gets his hands on you, you're not getting away. And that's that right there, it's almost like describing a defensive lineman. You know how it's been said?
Yeah.
It's been said defensive linemen are dancing bears. You want one of those guys? Well, you don't find many offensive linemen like that. This guy's like that. When you see him run around and stuff, you go, woo.
How many times you see Alabama run right? You know what I mean? And I know they contemplated moving him to the left side before they had a 5-star recruit come in. Back to the left. He had played there before. But, that's an interesting prospect. There's so many of them. Can't wait for it. I wish we had more time with you. Titans radio coverage begins tomorrow with the first round and into Friday, right?
6 to 10 tomorrow, 6 to 9 on Friday, 4 to 6 on Saturday.
Can't wait. We'll see you tomorrow.
Nobody does it better than these guys. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
It's serious. I mean, from a production standpoint, all over it, informationally, entertaining value, all of it. You guys do an amazing job. Can't wait to listen.
We're just lucky to have Coach Mack and Ramon Foster. That makes it pretty good to start with. Rep Bryan's all right, too.
Look at Rep B catching straight. All right, thank you, Mike. Good stuff, man.
Good job.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
How about that Malik Neighbors stuff? Boy, Mike could get into the weeds on this stuff, man.
You just hear the excitement in his voice.
He would love to
love it.
In a second life if he wasn't the best at what he does. He could be an analyst for a sports team.
He was trying to turn me.
Preds in action on Friday at 6:30 on TBS over at Bridgestone Arena, and Sunday as well.
Yes, Sunday as well. And guess what? Today is another Winning Wednesday on 3HL. Tickets for you to win from my prize closet, sponsored by Artisan Custom Closets. Don't call yet. I'll tell you when. The Preds do play at home this Friday and this Sunday. Round 1, the Stanley Cup playoffs against Vancouver. Friday, puck drops at 6:30. The Plaza Party, presented by Bridgestone, starts at 3:30. You got 3 hours to get all lubed up. Now, here is the time. Sunday's game, afternoon hockey in Smashville, 4 p.m. puck drop. Plaza Party starts at 1, and I'm giving away 2 tickets to Game 4. Caller number 5 right now to 615-737-1045. Good luck to you. 2 tickets to Game 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs as the Preds host Vancouver on Sunday. All this thanks to Artisan Custom Closets. And don't forget, tickets are going quick. Grab yours today. All your other playoff info, you can get it at NashvillePredators.com/playoffs. Go ahead and visit CustomClosets.com. Say goodbye to clutter and hello to calm. Well, and speaking of the wonderful business that sponsors our Winning Wednesday and Bab's Prize Closet, how about Artisan Custom Closets? You want to say goodbye to clutter? You want to say hello to calm? You want to make Mom's Day, week, year, Mother's Day around the corner? Artisan Custom Closets, a great gift idea. Maybe a gift card, or set up a free consultation for mom to help get the home in order. She's going to feel grounded and calm and so happy for Mother's Day if you do this. Let's say she wants that show-stopping closet where there's storage for sweaters and jewelry and shoes and everything has its place. They can do that, but they can also organize garages, home offices, laundry rooms, pantries, mud rooms, you name it. Artisan Custom Closets can do it. Even playrooms, they can build in storage. It's all custom done. And Artisan Custom Closets is local, not one of those large chain businesses you hear about. Local, and their products made and manufactured right here in the South. Let Artisan Custom Closets help you out. Say goodbye to clutter. Call them at 615-800-2199. That's 800-2199. Great Mother's Day gift. ArtisanCustomClosets.com.
What up, fellas? You been feeling tired and grumpy? I got something for you. Low T Center is where you need to go. It's not your typical doctor's office. You don't even have to go in. They have affordable and convenient treatment options, including physician-monitored self-inject treatments. That's right. 4, established patients that ship directly to your home each month, so there's no need to drive to the center for weekly visits. Right now, Low T Center is only $25 to get your T levels tested. It makes sense, man. Make your health and quality of life a priority. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online today. That's lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare.
So many people trust Two Rivers Ford. Football players, working moms, business owners. Why? Because Two Rivers Ford has been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Mortgage professionals in Middle Tennessee. Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, owner of Wesley Mortgage. I'm a true local. Born in Mount Juliet, met my wife at MTSU, and I live in Franklin. While every other mortgage company is cutting back, we're rapidly expanding and investing. Are you sick of feeling like an operations employee to ensure your loans are closed on time? When you look around your office, it doesn't look the same. You're missing people. You're missing your friends. Is anyone having fun? We're having fun every day. As the official mortgage provider of the Tennessee Titans, I've personally recruited the top local operations team to ensure your loans are closed on time. So you get paid. So you get to spend time building your business, and you get to have fun at work again. Now is the time to join our team. To start a confidential conversation with our local president and COO, visit whywesley.com. whywesley.com.
Three HL 1045 The Zone. Let's try to get as many phone calls as we can. And, how much time do we have, Hunk?
About 2.5.
All right. Larry in the borough, go. Larry.
What up, Larry?
Hey, I've been on hold so long, I've already had lunch and dinner.
Well,
that's called Leonard.
I want to say hello to Don and all y'all guys. I don't get to listen to you every day, but when I do, I really enjoy it.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Y'all are crazy and have some good views on everything, which that's really cool. Y'all some good people, and who doesn't like Mike Keith?
Absolutely.
I've been
the best,
especially back in his Tennessee days and all that stuff, and now he's a Titan guy. I want to talk Preds for a second. I know y'all talking about NFL, and I hope they really get who they need, which I think one person said they didn't need no offensive lineman, but I kind of think they do. So if they can't get that, I hope they get the next best thing. But after Vancouver scored that first goal, it was all Preds after that. Mm-hmm. They tightened their belts, and hey, that's the real Nashville Predators that you seen last night if you watched the game.
That was every guy on the ice for the Preds giving everything they had to dive in front of pucks, man, because that puck was in their zone the entire second and third period.
Yeah, Vancouver, they a good team now. They a top tier team.
Right. I mean, coming into the series, they were favored to win. So there's that.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, the Preds, for those that don't know, the Preds went more than 20 minutes without a shot on goal in that game.
The NHL, in a way, is comparative to the NFL, where just like the 49ers, lost 2 or 3 games last year in a row. You can have one bad game or your worst game, and then you can come back next week, you can be lights out. The NHL is kind of the same way. There's no predictability.
Nope, there will be adjustments
in the NHL.
Yep, there will be adjustments game to game for sure. And Demko being out, that's a huge thing.
That's huge.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right, man. Thank you. We're up against it. Hunk's going to come in here and yank us out of here.
Thanks,
Hunk,
Larry.
Thank you, Larry. Hunk, what's up next?
That'd be the 3HL after party. Woo!
You might hear Babs do that in the promo for tomorrow. Woo! Babs becomes a woo girl.
No.
Story at 11. That's right. All right, appreciate y'all.
Draft is here. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be y'all.